If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Ill-fated words I will choke.
How can I tell you and no? Happy Monday to everyone in the sports universe. This is the AM Drive, and we are live. For Aaron Crouch in the sports universe in Las Vegas, Nevada, I am Michael Carvelis from Savannah-ish, Georgia. Aaron, how was your weekend and sports weekend for that matter?
Overall, it's good. I mean, Sammy Action and I watched the NFL yesterday together. So that was nice, talking football.
Right.
But yeah, overall, the bets came through. I think it was 4-2-1 in the bets I made, and I think I went 3-2 in the AM Drive. So life's all right.
You held it down. You held it down for me. Thank you, sir. Stupid Chiefs. Head to MikeandAaronDrive.com for our shop, sponsors, socials, and YouTube. And did I say shop? Yes, I did. Because you can get awesome things like this hoodie and that hoodie in different colors. Mugs, phone cases, black edition mug, which we'll tease later. Nice tumbler, sir, as always. You're a company man. We're both company men today. And that's the hat that came from Fanatics, or is that the one that did not come from Fanatics?
This one did. That one did.
Okay, cool. We're good. The LV, baby. Good. MikeandAaronDrive.com. You love it. You need it. You want it. Do it. All right. Our AM Drive 5 recap, as Aaron mentioned. I believe I went 0-3 in my NFL, but I finally went 2-0 in college football. So on the week that I do that, of course I have a losing week for the first time this season, I think. But Aaron, I'm proud of you. You're back to 500. I'm 12-8. You're 10-10. We're still in the green. It could be a lot worse on this podcast, but we're doing well.
Yeah, I even got the ability to have a late scratch with Deshaun Watson out, and I picked probably a worse decision. I may have picked the worst game in that spot with Pittsburgh money line. Good Lord, they didn't even get off the bus. That was so bad.
And Kenny Pickett might be hurt as well, so it gets better.
Yeah, how about let's talk about 3 4th-and-1 decisions by Tua, by the Dolphins, by the Steelers, and I think by the Chargers. I think in 4th-and-1, I don't care what kind of offense you run, you should never be running the shotgun in 4th-and-1. All three of them ran a play from the shotgun. Tua got sacked, Kenny Pickett got sacked, and Justin Herbert threw like the worst duck ever. But it's just absolutely mind-boggling that in today's age that these offenses can't get 1 yard on the ground, whether it's through their quarterback or through a running back or through a fullback or through this tush push that apparently is taking the
it's brotherly shove. I like brotherly shove more than tush push, but go ahead.
I like tush push just because it says tush. But you get what I'm saying. Right. The point being is that it's mind-boggling to me that any team lining up and that's 3 bad coaching decisions, and one of them could cost Kenny Pickett his season.
See, and that's what's annoying is that when you look at when football was first invented, like obviously pre-forward pass,
right? You
notice it's all physical. It's all you need a yard, you get a yard. It's almost like offenses are using too much analytics. I mean, that is a thing. They're using too much analytics regardless. But it's like they're trying to outsmart what they already know, which is just football, baby. You need a yard, get a yard. How to do some trick? No. Get a yard. You'll be fine.
And how do these coaches keep letting Brandon Staley off the hook again for a second straight week in his own territory, goes for it on 4th-and-1 and doesn't get it? And of course, the Raiders can't capitalize on it because, they're the Raiders.
That's right. All right, best and worst of the weekend. As always, I'm very excited to hear your worst. Happy October.
My worst of the weekend probably shouldn't have been, but because it was, then it ultimately became my worst. 28-7, you have a lead on the hapless Denver Broncos, Mr. Chicago Bears. You're up 28-7. Your quarterback's looking like an all-pro for a first time in a long time. And what do? You blow the lead to the 0-3 Denver Broncos. My worst of the weekend is the Chicago Bears. they're 0-3 as well. Not make it 0-4. But that's just absolutely insane to me. To sit there and basically, I say this how many times? These teams need to stop taking their foot off the gas. If you beat a team 42-7, good on you. Never take your foot off the gas. Kyle Shanahan can attest to that. So my worst of the weekend is the Chicago Bears and their lackluster second half effort.
So, in case nobody heard that, I know I caught bits and pieces of it, but it was basically Chicago Bears, and I heard like most
Chicago Bears putrid second half effort. Yes, I don't know why that freezes so randomly.
I don't know. It was just. I mean, they may have heard it, they may not have. Who knows? My worst of the weekend. This changed rapidly in my brain before the show started, because I remember what happened to me on Saturday. My emotions after I had written an article 2 weeks ago before the Oregon game, after the Colorado State game, that's saying Coach Prime is special for college football, and then somehow Colorado is literally completing a comeback against USC. Somehow, some way they're doing this. It is 48-34 with like 5 minutes left on plus territory. The clock goes all the way down to like a minute 12 or whatever because they ran 4 run plays. And people in the comments, of course, are like, oh, well, the offensive coordinator. Okay. Coach Deion Sanders is the head coach. Someone on the sideline, especially him, should have known we have no timeouts, as many as me and Aaron do right now, and we're running it 4 times. What are you doing? It's a sell job in the worst way. He will not receive enough hate for it today. I will be the first one to do so. It was brutal because I was like, they were actually going to do it. They're going to shut me up for crying out loud. And they couldn't even let USC off. I thought that had to be the sell job. How does that happen in that situation? It can't happen. It doesn't happen to any coach, or they're getting fired the next day. Impossibly horrible. And yeah,
100%. I did not understand that. They actually were mounting the legitimate comeback. First of all, they have not been able to run the ball all year. Like, they're not a running team. And then in the middle of this game, you called 4 running. Like, did you think you were going to catch them off guard or something? Like, did you think you were going to
we got one run play.
Did you think you were going to get 14 points on a halfback dive? Like, what are you doing here? Like, that was weird. I don't know if Deion addressed it with his coaching staff or what happened, but you're right. Like, I bet he was probably on the sideline after like at least the third one going, what are we doing? Like, this did seem like a sell job or a fix, or I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. Like, but that game, speaking of, we talked about it last week, and you put the transitive property like, well, Oregon killed him, so USC is going to kill him. And for a while they did. I didn't like that big number at home, 21.5 points.
Right, and they found some dude named Amarian, I think Amarian Miller maybe, or Amarian Cooper, whatever his name is. He was looking incredible. Like, they had a weapon, and he even scored the 41st point for the team. I just don't know how that happens under your watch. Willie, do you have a watch, Deion? As I don't, you apparently supposed to. Go ahead, best of the weekend.
My best of the weekend is our potential to have a running back be named NFL MVP, which hasn't happened, I believe, since Adrian Peterson. Christian McCaffrey with another absolutely incredible weekend. 4 touchdowns, 100 yards on the ground. I mean, with the quarterback play, nobody really standing out, in my opinion, through 4 weeks. At the season end of the day, Christian McCaffrey has looked absolutely incredible. He's healthy. He's a juggernaut. I mean, right now he's my quarter pole MVP of the NFL season.
We should do that on Wednesday, like the first 4 weeks MVP and Rookie of the Year and stuff like that. We should do that.
Okay, if you remember.
I will. All right, best weekend for me was first my worst. And I was like, no, I can't let it be Zach Wilson. I have to let it be this for motivation. Allow me. Okay, so our Miami. Thank you. I need the hype music. I know it's whatever.
I just figured this was like a slam session, a poetry session.
Yes, so Drew Holiday. Listen, I even made a video on TikTok, streaming videos, where I was like, don't worry, folks, we lost. The Miami Heat could not get Damian Lillard We're going to get Drew Holiday. He's a culture guy, right? No. Robert Williams is good enough for Drew Holiday. And so I say thank you, Portland, who I've heard rumors that the GM hates the Miami Heat, like Pat Riley, for some unknown reason. Whatever the case may be, Celtics have now stacked the deck, and Miami literally has nothing besides Jamie Jaquez Jr. this offseason. Motivation time, baby. I couldn't let that be my worst. It had to be my best. Just thanks for the motivation, because the Miami Heat definitely needed to beat you guys last year. Let's do it again this year.
All right.
Well, I got to do it. I mean, I had to make light of that. I'm sorry.
All those great plays this weekend in sports, and you went with motivation for the Miami Heat. All right.
Yes. All right. Colorado USC. I'm not going to beat the dead Buffalo here, but that's just you can't lose that game. You can't lose that game. It's almost like the Pac-12 commissioner came down and said, "Hey, this might be one of our only chances to be relevant this year if Oregon poops his pants. Why don't you guys lose this game for us?" That's all I can think of.
I wonder if the commissioner of the Pac-12 has just been so beaten down that he's just sits on his couch every Sunday in a wife beater, slouched down, eating Cheetos, oh, what could have been,
Drinking a beer.
Yeah, he's just I don't know if you've seen the end of Dodgeball when Ben Stiller's character gets fat. I feel like that's what he's doing all throughout the year. They don't care. I don't. When you say I don't know, you can't lose this game. I hope you're talking about USC, because USC dominated and controlled this game from start to finish. Colorado, of course, Colorado can lose this game. I mean, we know that they're heavily overmatched in games with teams that have a pulse. I mean, I know they're 3-2, but look what the two are. This one has really shocked me. I mean, Colorado kept it within the number for the majority of 3 quarters. I think going into half, I think actually no, probably about 2 quarters. I think going into half they weren't covering, but I got to give Coach Prime and the team some credit, even though you don't, of just not giving up in this game. 2 back-to-back weeks, just getting their pants pulled down and spanked. I mean, I'd like to think that this brings them back to earth a little bit, and now that I kind of reflect on the first 3 weeks of the season and their excitement, and I get it. I think it was falsely crafted, some by the media, some by Coach Prime, to get this team believing in higher aspirations than what they've been told all offseason. So a little bit of a tip of the cap to Coach Prime for getting his teams to even play up to this competition. But we all kind of knew that they just weren't on that same level. Now, 2, 3, 4 years from now, if he's still at Colorado, could be talking about, dominating the Big 12. We'll see. I don't know. But, this game it was firepower from start to finish. I was surprised that it was a 10 a.m. start game. I know that they wanted this game on big noon kickoff, and it was funny because that's usually a Big 10 game. This being a Pac-12 game was really shocking to me. But,
Johnson,
Caleb Williams has the resume. What else do you need to say? 6 touchdowns? I mean, I don't know what else to say right now. He's obviously the Heisman leading front runner. The only other person that was allegedly even close was the guy on the other side, and I don't think Sanders had a game that could even get him in the same atmosphere as Caleb Williams right now. So, with regards to this game, I mean, we talked about it. When was USC going to have that flawed defense that we were expecting? And it's hard to say because I felt like they just kind of started, taking the foot off the gas, like we always talk about. Can't take your foot off the gas against any team.
A bunch of Oklahoma fans, it was interesting reading what they were saying. Oh, this is who Lincoln Riley is. He blows big leads. And I was thinking about that. Is this true? I don't know about the Kyle Shanahan stuff, but it's apparently Oklahoma fans were used to Lincoln Riley, padding it up early and then just letting it off the gas for some reason. I don't know if that's a thing, but they thought it was a thing. So,
yeah, I mean, it's tough because Lincoln Riley, at least from my belief, has no input on defense, whether it was at Oklahoma, whether it was at USC. I understand he's a head coach, but in today's era, we almost don't even have head coaches a lot of time anymore. We have coordinators who run the program, and then they hire somebody in to really just be the head coach of the other side of the ball. But I mean, if this loss, I mean, yeah, I guess you could blame it on Lincoln Riley if they did come back and lose this game. But I mean, the letting off the gas is just, to me, it's just absolutely, it's criminal with these type of games. It's just, I don't know. I mean, USC probably could have scored 70 if they wanted to, but I mean, why not?
Right.
It helped your case later on in the year. Like, oh, look, they beat Coach Prime 70-40. You know, stuff like that matters in college football. It doesn't matter in the NFL, but it matters in college football.
Right. Style points. All right. Georgia beat Auburn 27-20. Texas beat Kansas 40-14. These games were both close, obviously, as this score indicates. I thought the quarterback Carson Beck for Georgia really played strong in the second half. Obviously, Brock Bowers talking about a Heisman candidate. He could be in like the tier 2 of that stuff if there isn't. If there could be like a tier 3. I don't think there is a tier 2. I think it's just Caleb Williams. Tier 2 is empty. Tier 3 is everyone else. But no, I thought Georgia got a nice, I don't want to say, it wasn't a nice win, but they did what they had to do. And Auburn just couldn't make the plays late, and that's how this game came down to.
Yeah, I tell you what, Auburn, another one, got up to play, you know, their rival, the number one team. Like, this reminds me just of anytime you see a two-time national champion or a team that's just won a lot along the way, it's, you know, it almost becomes, I don't know what the right word for it is, but it almost becomes just a mundane to go out and play these teams. And then you have to end up waking up in the second or third quarter like, oh, crap, we're in a dogfight. No pun intended. Yeah. But, you know, it's I don't know. I don't know what to make of Georgia right now, because I feel like if Carson Beck just kind of gets his footing, like, this team is a dominant juggernaut again. But at the same time, like, they've lost all those defensive prowess guys, N'Kobe, obviously Jalen Carter, et cetera, that it's like, are we just expecting them to walk in and beat everybody 45-10 every week? And it's just like, you know, they're not that Georgia team, but maybe they're like this Georgia team, which is still good enough, right, you know, in college football, but they're not going to roll like they did everybody else the last 2 seasons. And I mean, Auburn, I was shocked by this game with Auburn's quarterback play this year. I thought there was no problem with this. I laid the 14. It was one of my losses this week. And yeah, I mean, they struggled even to win that game. And I don't know what to make of Georgia. I mean, it's kind of nice seeing this, because I think we have, like, again, I think we have 5 quality national championship contenders right now. And we don't have that whole, like, oh, well, it's Georgia and everybody else, or it's Alabama and everybody else. Like, we don't have that right now. We may have that in December. I don't know. But right now, it looks like a fun thought that we have actual legitimate, you know, contenders, title contenders from each conference, really.
Agreed with that. I think it's good for Georgia in the long run, because they did find their quarterback can make some plays late if they need him to. I don't know how this stacks up against everybody else, but for against Auburn on the road, tied up, it helped a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
The last thing I'll say is it really scared me, because I really thought this was the get right middle finger game for Kirby Smart after a lot of reporters were asking questions, and he got pissed at the stand. I really thought, I laid the 14 because I really thought this was the game he's going to say, look, 56-10, go, you know, climb back in your hole. And no, not in the slightest.
Fair enough. Texas beat Kansas 40-14. I mean, Quinn Ewers playing pretty well. He's not putting up gigantic numbers, but he had another good game. This game was also close in the late third and like early fourth quarter until Texas blew it open. Man, are you believing in Texas yet, or still not yet?
No, I believe in them. I never did. And they're still my number 2 team in my rankings right now. And again, they could easily be number 1 right now, but I'm, you know me, I'm to be the giant, you got to beat the giant. And, you know, Georgia hasn't fallen off yet at this point. But it's not as big of a margin as it maybe was to start the season, for sure. Yeah, this was a tough one. I mean, this was obviously in both of our AM Drive 5s. I really thought we were going to get that field goal at the end of the first half to take a 9-point lead and cover that 8. But, you know, that's just my these first half bets are not going the way I hope. And I wonder if it's a product of the moving clock. I really do. We talked about that, Sammy Action and I, you know, at the beginning of the college football season, and how that would affect betting in the first half. And I think it actually is biting me in the butt, for sure, because last week, Oklahoma -8. They go into the locker room, 7-point lead. This week, Texas -8. They go in the locker room with a 6-point lead. Like, it's not far off, but it's far enough, So, Quinn Ewers, not a great game, but they were just too much for Kansas. I think we both knew that because we both leaned. You picked, I leaned towards that 16.5, even though it was a bigger number. With them having the Red River rivalry, coming up next week, I thought they would really try to take advantage of just getting out on Kansas. And when Kansas lost Jalen Daniels, that was it for them. So they couldn't hold a candle to Texas. So I still put this in the good win category, despite Daniels being out. I mean, Kansas is still no slouch. Like you said, they hang on for 2.5 quarters, and eventually the talent just took over. And it looks like a blowout on the paper, which it kind of was.
Right. MikeandAaronDrive.com for the best in our stuff. When we come back, NFL headlines. Boy, these are fun.
All right, welcome back here to the Monday edition of the AM Drive. We are presented by our friends at Agridime. You see that box in the corner. You go to MikeandAaronDrive.com. You click the link that looks just like that. You go and you want to get the best in high-quality meats delivered directly to your door. Head over to Agridime. Shop until you drop. Buy it all now. Again, smoking season coming up. Code AM Drive is the key if you want to get 10% off your entire order. They also have different sales going on at different times. Unfortunately, the AM Drive code doesn't work for those sales because they're already on sale. But, we and our humbleness here at the AM Drive always want you to get the best deal. So sometimes the AM Drive promo code isn't the best off. They just had 50% off this weekend, so tough to beat that.
Right.
But when they don't have a sale and you still need to get the highest quality meats, Agridime, AM Drive code for 10% off, not 50% off.
I wish.
I wish too.
And don't, please, God forbid, if you invest in cattle, don't name the cow. Just don't do it.
It's true.
Bills beat down, pummeled the Dolphins 48. Was that 48 or 38?
I thought it was 48-20, right?
It is. Wait, I'm making sure.
Yeah, 48-20.
Yeah, 48-20. Okay. Josh Allen had a good game against the Dolphins defense, which I keep saying is gettable, but people are like, oh, see what Josh Allen? Well, yeah, fine, against this team. The point is the Dolphins were supposed to do the same thing, and like you said, to me, Bills have the better defense right now. Probably all season, if we're going to be honest, but the Bills did what they had to do. I think the Dolphins lost they're already down the center, and then they lost a left tackle. So it was not good for them. Obviously, the Bills could just tee off at that point. Tyreek Hill apparently has struggled the last 3 games against the Bills. I know in the first half he looked pretty good. Second half, nothing, shut him down. And Tua had an average game. I know the Patriots game, it was good defense, but had another average game. He's had 2 great games and 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's right now that kind of seems like him. He was kind of like that last year too, in the sense of, you never know when he's going to come out firing, like that Ravens game last year for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. He has it in him. I mean, statistically, he didn't have a bad game, but, it was, they were down early and often, and it was 31-14 at half. And, when you have to run, it seems, but you're right. I mean, Tyreek Hill, 5 targets in the game, it just doesn't sound right. And I don't know if that's a product of what is Mike McDaniel thinking, or is that a product of how great the Bills played? I mean, they got up for this game. I mean, they've seen their recent struggles against the Dolphins. They've seen their recent struggles against the AFC East and just in general. And they knocked the Dolphins off the schneid here. I mean, I'm. It's hard to say. I mean, this is not exactly how I predicted the game, though I did pick the Bills and I did believe that the Bills would win this game. I did not believe that we would have a blowout. I thought we'd have something in the 34-28 kind of thing. But I mean, it just seemed like Miami had given up, in my opinion, and couple that with Buffalo did not, which is what drove the score as far away as it did.
Oh, hear that, Bears? It's it is funny you mentioned that too, because like I feel like the Dolphins wanted this game. I thought it was gonna be like a playoff atmosphere type game, like a division tough rivalry game. It seemed like the Bills had other plans to just play the circus game and just, Josh Allen took what he could early, but then all of a sudden, Stephon Diggs ate up their backup or rookie cornerback who just, God, he was horrible. He was horrible. He couldn't guard Diggs is the thing. Couldn't tackle him, couldn't keep his hands off them. That to me was pretty much opening the game in the first half on him. And again, like Dolphins, they can run the ball, but they don't really bruise you. And I wonder if that's a thing. Because it seems like the Bills are more physical on both sides, and Dolphins are more finesse. And I feel like this is why people want them to play in Miami in January, because of that kind of reason.
I think I said that from the get. I mean, I think they can beat any team in the division or any team in the conference as long as they're at home. You send this team up to Buffalo or Kansas City in the snow, I don't trust them. Like you said, the finesse team. But yeah, I mean, like. It's hard to write off obviously the Dolphins because this game will be a totally different outlook when they play in Miami, which I think it's close to November, December. So yeah, this one's just I think if you're Mike McDaniel, you just chalk up the script and throw it away. You're gonna get back at it next week. You've got a game against the Giants, which you hope is a get right game. We'll see what happens tonight, obviously, but. You hope it's a get-right game at home against the Giants, and because the spotlight's off you for a second. You're not 3-0 anymore, and you don't have to really focus.
70.
Yeah, you didn't just put 70 on anybody, so the spotlight's off you for a little bit. So that'll be a get-right game against the Giants next week.
Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs beat the Jets 23-20, not without controversy, because anytime apparently there was a flag, I thought it was just like at the last drive, although it kind of sounded like it was a Jets last drive. It's like every time there's a flag within, I guess, the fourth quarter in general. Oh, see what they did to Mahomes? Sure, whatever. It was a defensive holding. I know it was kind of ticky-tack at that moment, but it's like a flag is a flag. It's not my fault the refs weren't consistent the entire game. That's just how things work.
It just never are.
Right, but we can't just put losses on that. I know Zach Wilson played well. I thought the Chiefs, God, they didn't seem like they wanted to really run it up.
Seemed like they wanted to lose that game.
Well, it's funny because like it's almost like they're playing, like you said, the bettors game. Like you mentioned that with the Travis Kelce thing. It seems like they're enjoying the moment of just like the stardom going around. I know Rodgers showed up. I know Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds. What's her name?
You know her
Come
name.
on, man.
You know her name.
So stupid at this point. I feel like the Chiefs are looking ahead right now, and that's why they're getting closing at the Jets. I got screwed.
This is a classic. I thought, well, two things I'll say. I think this is a classic. We're up 17-0. It's the Jets. It's Zach Wilson. Let's chill. And then Zach Wilson's like, just, kick a man when he's down, and I'm out of options here. I've got to try to play some football. But, I mean, for me, I thought Patrick Mahomes looked terrible last night. I think he looked absolutely abysmal. I mean, 18-30, 203. Those two picks that he threw were some of the worst throws I've ever seen him make. I mean, they weren't even close. He doesn't care
right now. It's weird.
They weren't even close to his receivers. I mean, they looked like, I don't know if you've seen that video of Dak Prescott in camp, the camp video where he just underthrew his receiver significantly. And they were like, uh-oh, here's Dak again. That's what Mahomes' passes look like on Sunday Night Football. Ultimately, in my opinion, I mean, I'm glad that the Chiefs came away with a 3-point victory because I had them -2 in a teaser. But I do not think it's a good strategy to have Zach Wilson throwing the ball 40 times in a game. I know he played well. I can respect all of that. But ultimately, when that ball is in his hands 40 times, he will make colossal mistakes. And I thought he made 2 of them, including the fumble, obviously. But Breece Hall to only get 6 carries and be averaging 10 yards a carry to only get 6 carries. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you sign Dalvin Cook and bring him in, you only give him 5 carries. Like, these are supposed to be, even with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, these were supposed to be the big pieces on your team that were, take pressure off your 40-year-old quarterback or take pressure off your god-awful quarterback. Like, 11 runs, this is just not it, in my opinion. And I know that, like, Chris Jones is up the middle, but Brees Hall was averaging 10 yards a carry, like 9.7 or something like that.
The first first drive, they threw the ball like 4 times compared to just like 1 or 2 rushes. I'm like, what are we? That's when the first drive I was like, what are they doing? It was weird.
I mean, I get it. You were out to you had a 20-0 deficit or whatever it was right out of the gate, 17-0 deficit. But once you tied it up, it was like, why is Zach Wilson still throwing the ball here? I mean, Again, he played well, but like, if you're Robert Saleh, was that your expectation coming in? Like, did you think on the bright lights, the big stage against the defending Super Bowl champions, this is when Zach Wilson will have his coming out party? Like, I would have.
Someone's mom in the stands? Yeah.
Yeah, I would not have guessed this was the time to unleash Zach Wilson, unless Robert Saleh's just, I mean, he has to be at this point the biggest believer in Zach Wilson.
That would be a nice, complete 180 for him.
Well, he's always been. I mean, he's the reason I think Robert Saleh is the reason they lost the locker room, because what Zach Wilson did in that interview where he's like, no, we scored 3 points. No, I don't blame our offense. Like, and then for Robert Saleh to back him up, that's why they lost the locker room. And it wouldn't shock me if they lost it again this year. But I mean, how long are we going to be talking about Zach Wilson actually playing good football? I honestly hope he turns it around. I mean, the guy won 7 games last year. I honestly hope good, decent football. I really do.
Fair enough.
You got none of that, didn't you?
I got like no.
I don't know what's going on with the internet today, whether it's mine or yours. I don't know, but
somebody's lacking. Cowboys beat the Pit. Aaron, this is rough. This is bad. 38-3. I had the Patriots to cover, and I mean, obviously no one sees this anymore, but like Mac Jones being good morning. Mac Jones being benched. God, this is brutal. Bill Belichick, man, he's got to find a way, because their offense is not IT. Not it.
All I can say with this Bill Belichick thing is it's I love Bill. It's cool to have all these, broken Lego parts that somehow fit together when you have the greatest quarterback of all time. But when you have Mac Jones, who's an up-and-coming rookie, who's struggling to be patching this offense together with just bums. Juju Smith he's a shell of himself. Even last year, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, like, you don't give the ball to Ramondre Stevenson enough. I don't understand what's going on. And they brought in Bill O'Brien to do something with this, this team. And I don't know. It's just, this was the first game that they haven't been in it, even though they've got some losses. I don't know if they've given up, but it sure feels like it. Like, Bill Belichick feels like this game has just passed him by.
Does it surprise you that DeAndre Hopkins chose the Titans? It's like he chose Ryan Tannehill over Bill Belichick right now?
So I heard a rumor that the Patriots couldn't come to the money that DeAndre Hopkins wanted, and it was all about that. Huh?
That's their problem then.
Well, that's the thing. They feel like, okay, well, yeah, this guy wants $15 million. We're good for like 11, but that extra $4 million could be spent on another what if project.
Okay, guy, yeah.
Yeah, instead of just going and spending the $15 million on a guy that we know can really help Mac Jones for sure. Yeah, this whole like bargain bin shopping just doesn't work when your quarterback's no good. Like, that's not a dig on Mac Jones, but he's just not, like, he doesn't have the tools. You stuck him with Patricia and Judge last year as a combo draw offensive coordinator thing. I don't know. It's hard for me to blame Mac Jones, but this game he played very poorly.
Fair.
I actually turned that one off pretty quick.
Right. Texans beat down the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-6, and well, I wish it was in Pittsburgh because that'd be even better for this. But it's not. So the Steelers offense still sucks. Wow. But in preseason though, Aaron, Kenny Pickett was like historically great.
He was, and he was good against first team defenses, which is what makes this so baffling how bad he is. But on the bright side, you got something good out of it. You got to see your boy Mitch Trubisky come in the game for 5 passes.
Yes.
And potentially he might be there for the rest of the season. Is that an upgrade for Pittsburgh? I know you're going to say yes.
I mean, it's not a downgrade. That's why I keep telling people. It's not like it's a downgrade.
It might not be a down. I think you're right. I have to question just, for all of these weapons, for all the expectations, Kenny Pickett, in his second year, blah, 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 Najee Harris, all the, the wide receivers, Deontay Johnson got hurt, and then,
good.
George Pickens, this and that. It's just like, how are they so bad on offense?
I'm tired of hearing the excuse about Matt Canada because I understand, like, we use the offensive coordinator excuse sometimes. But eventually those are guys there. Like, those are guys that genuinely were supposed to be good.
Right.
And this is not like just the Bill Belichick thing of throw a bunch of bargain pieces into a Goodwill basket and pay for $5 a Dollar General. This is like guys that are good. And they're apparently they're not doing their homework on them because they're not that good. Najee is still not that good to me.
Yeah, I mean, he did average 5 yards a carry yesterday, but I mean, yeah, so far he hasn't been very good. I don't know. This one's just tough. I gotta wonder if Mitchell Trubisky might be an upgrade at this point.
I would sport that jersey, man. I'm telling you what. I see it right now. It's looking good.
But let's give credit where credit is due. I mean, the Texans.
CJ
Stroud looked incredible. I don't want to make this all about the Steelers, but CJ Nico Collins connection was pretty dang good.
They've got a decent team, man.
CJ has looked the best out of the three rookie quarterbacks, obviously.
Objectively, yes, because Anthony Richardson, he's got one less game of a sample size. And he's been hurt the other two games, and yesterday comes back but gets blown out mostly. So
he did engineer a nice comeback though. We'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, I just think in terms of like pro ready, I guess CJ Stroud was the guy because Bryce Young is not it right now. He looks very average.
No, he did have some flashes though in that Vikings-Panthers game. We did watch a little bit of that. So
cool. Titans Bengals. Aaron, at what point do we give Joe Burrow stop giving him the injury excuse? Because he has been horrible this year. He has been horrible.
I'll still give him the injury excuse in the sense of like he is injured, but I will make I don't know how bold this is, but I will make a declaration now that the Bengals are done. They just need to put him on the IR.
Jake Brown.
Call it a season, man. Just call it a season. It's a lost season.
I can agree with that because, I mean, Ravens look good. Ravens do look good. Steelers supposed to have a pulse, like I said, supposedly.
Well, just the Ravens and Browns. I mean,
apparently Deshaun Watson is better than Dorian Thompson-Robinson, if that helps you.
Well, apparently much. I mean, that line moved 4 points when they announced him out, so.
DTR was not very good, though.
And that was clearly not enough. They won by 25.
I was not happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll matter, but I don't know how, like, ready DTR was because this was such a blue scratch, but he was hurt all week.
Right.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
There was another scratch as well. It was Chase Claypool. That was the Bears getting even more interesting.
Yeah, they want him nowhere near the facility at this point.
Interesting. But it's not because of what he said to reporters, of course.
What did he say? I didn't hear that.
Apparently he was like, oh, I don't think I'm being put in positions to succeed. But it's like, then they're saying, oh, that's not why he's being benched. Like, it seems like you guys got a pride problem over there.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even heard his name on.
Pretty much. And boy, Aaron is freezing.
What is going on?
When we come back, we're going to attempt to do
what is going on?
Draft.
Like,
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, every 2 minutes, it's, I don't know. Yeah, let's just get to a commercial and finish up the show here.
We'll be all right. We'll be right back.
right, welcome back here to this last segment of the AM Drive, and we need you guys to check out the sponsors and buy from the shop because I need to pay my my internet bill. Apparently, I don't know what's going on, man. But if you want to support one of the sponsors, it's of course the Shank It Golf, as you see on the screen there. Head over to MikeandAaronDrive.com. Use the promo code AM Drive for 15% off your order at ShankItGolf.com. Tell them the boys at the AM Drive sent you. And we appreciate it, and maybe we can pay our electric bill this month, or our internet bill, and our electric.
Yeah, we're hashtag Shankful, hashtag need Wi-Fi. All right. Monday Night Football, real quick. Seahawks Giants. I feel like this line was in favor of the Giants until Saquon got hurt. I was doubtful for the game. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, the Giants were 1-point favorites. It is swung.
Okay, who you got, Aaron?
I still like the Giants in this game. I think Danny Dimes is gonna play well enough. I don't like the Seahawks. They're the better team on paper right now, but I'm gonna back your boy Danny Dimes, and I'm gonna take the 2 points.
Even though he's 1-11 in prime time.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably going down a rabbit hole that I don't need to be going down, but I'm not betting this game. I may not even watch it.
All right, fair enough. It's time for our Fantasy Draft Monday, or should I say Major Monday? I don't know. There's a draft going on right now, Aaron. Tell us what it is.
All right, so with the MLB playoffs starting, 12 teams are now vying for their chance at a World Series title. Well, we are going to vie for our chance at winning $20 off the other guy by doing our Major League Baseball team draft. How are we going to determine first pick?
You can get it. I think last time we did a draft, I had a first pick.
I think I know what we're going to pick for our first two anyways. But so we're each going to pick 6 teams, obviously, back-to-back like we do in all of our fantasy drafts. And if our team, one of the teams that we pick, ends up winning the World Series, then we're going to become $20 richer. So I'll start off with... Oh, we're doing the mug?
Oh, we can do it.
Yeah, you're right. We're doing the black mug. We're doing the black mug. That's right. But the black mug is valued at $20, so that's where I got $20 from.
So yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So we're going to be one black mug richer. That doesn't come out. That doesn't come out as well.
Jesus.
Anyways, all right. Well, I'm going to start mine with the favorites, and I'm going to take the Atlanta Braves for my first team in the MLB draft here.
This is tough for me because I really want to take like the opposite conference, or whatever they call that there, opposite league here.
Yeah.
It's whatever. They're stuck in the past. But I'm gonna take the rival. I'm gonna go with the Dodgers, even though the Braves have beaten them this season. I feel like the Braves bullpen, maybe their health could be a scare. I'll be happy taking the Dodgers in case those two have a meetup in the NLCS. They will.
Yeah, so we knew those two were going to basically be set, I guess you could say. I want to take the Orioles. I've said all year I don't know if I trust them in the playoffs. No. This is just new territory for them. So this is a tough one for me. So I think I'm gonna punch a ticket with the Astros as my number 2 pick.
No, you knew I was going to take them next.
I didn't, but I do now.
Right. Well, give me. Give me a pretty healthy Orioles team then.
Okay.
I like that. I feel like they're good enough to contend. If they are for real, I'll be happy to take that black mug edition. Black edition mug, whatever.
All right. Well, you have the Orioles, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the Rays here in this spot. They got a tough matchup against the Blue Jays first, so we'll have to see what that ends up happening. But yeah,
the Rays have the Rangers.
Wait, what am I looking at here?
I've got the boo!
Somebody called me.
It's 8:00. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Rays. Everything moved when the. Anyways, I'll still take the Rays in this spot.
I've got the postseason picture right here, Aaron.
Oh, what am I looking at? This is
Google
here
MLB
it-
playoff bracket.
yeah. Okay, I see this. Okay, this was weird.
All
That was
right.
weird.
Are you
All right,
still
I'm still taking the Rays.
okay. I will go with the. Oh, I like the Rangers. I'm gonna go with the Texas Rangers. I really believe, even though it's my third pick, I know they're playing your team right there, but I'm gonna take the Rangers, and I think I can hold off for somebody.
Well, that was who I was going to take, so I could guarantee getting out of that one. But you have the Dodgers in the NLCS. Ooh. This one's tough. I think I'm going to go ahead and take. I'm going to go ahead and take the Brewers in this spot. That's a plug my nose and grab it in that one.
Not fair. Well, I'm going to take another NL team as well. I'm going to go with the red hot, fun loving, brotherly love of Phillies.
Yeah, I was going to try to come back and take that one if you skipped on them, which I didn't think you would.
I can tell. You've been screwed me twice already.
I'm gonna take the dog here in the American League brackets and hopefully get myself a free roll in the divisional series. I'm gonna take the Blue Jays as my fifth pick.
There, you've taken 3 of my picks minus the Braves, obviously. Oh my God.
Shouldn't have given me first pick then.
Oh wow, this is tough. I'm gonna go with the sneaky fish, the Miami Dolphins. Excuse me, Marlins. That was on purpose.
So now it's between the Diamondbacks and the Twins. How crazy that the AL Central winner is like literally going to get picked last.
Yeah. Oh, let me guess. You're taking the Diamondbacks.
I might not. I don't know.
Oh.
The thing is if I pick the Twins, I have the Twins, Blue Jays, and Astros, so I have a free path to the ALCS in one spot. And then if I pick the Diamondbacks, I have the Diamondbacks and the Brewers against your Dodgers in the divisional series, which doesn't guarantee me a spot in the ALCS. It should, because I have the Philly and the Braves. I'm going to guarantee my spot in the ALCS, and I'm going to take the Twins here just because I like them better than the Diamondbacks.
That's a bold move, sir. I'm obviously going to go with Diamondbacks as my Mr. Irrelevant team here. But to be fair,
I think they're anything but irrelevant. They're a good team.
I mean, if I do beat you against Milwaukee, I like my chances of having an automatic NLCS bid. So at least we both have a bid on there if I win.
Yeah, you have 2 out of 3 in 2 brackets, and I have 2 out of 3, or I have 2 out of 3 in 1. Oh no, I don't. You have the Marlins and the Phillies, so you're guaranteed somebody up against my Braves there.
That's okay. I would
know what?
Oh,
I don't know what's going on, man.
This has been a great show, by the way. It's been a fantastic show.
This is a tough one. I think I may have screwed myself just based on the brackets here.
Well, that's okay because
you have, in one bracket you have 2 out of 3. In one bracket you have 2 out of 3. Yeah, in 3 brackets you have 2 out of 3 teams. But I mean, I have the Atlanta Braves in one of those brackets.
And you have the Houston Astros. So yeah.
And then I have a guaranteed bracket for the. I have a guaranteed ALCS, but I don't have anything guaranteed in the NLCS except for the fact I think Atlanta will get there. So
we'll be back Wednesday.
Hopefully our internet will be fixed.
Right. Please, Agritime, Code AM Drive, Shanky Golf, Code AM Drive, 15% off there. Click the F at MikeandAaronDrive.com. God, you're desperate, baby.
We need better internet. Support us.
Shop. Everything.
Shop, sponsor, social. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If we get to 1,000, we can start monetizing it. That'd be great.
Thank you. Right. We're getting the countdown to 1,000.
Yeah, we're at what, 62 right now?
Is it 62 now? I thought it was 61 last time I checked. Let me check.
Okay, maybe 61. I was just hoping for good results. But anyways, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell your friends to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Enjoy your beginning of the week, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday, of course, with top 5s and all the happenings in sports. For Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying enjoy your Monday and your Tuesday, and we'll see you soon.
And drive safe and bye. Thank you.